Hey guys, welcome to Double D's RCs. Today, I've been messing around with this Traxxas Slash. I've turned it into a dragster, and I've got about 50 passes on it, roughly, down the 132 foot RC quarter mile. And today, I'm going to, doing the dragster stuff is all about learning, and all about, how can you make the most speed out of the motor that you have, the setup that you have, by changing suspension, tires, tire prep, gearing. There's all sorts of shit. So I'm gonna try and put this differential locker into the trans. It's a stock Traxxas two-wheel drive trans. Didn't change any of the gearing inside of the transmission itself. But I'm going to try and lock the diff and then run it and see if it changed anything at all or nothing or what. So first thing you got to do is take your transmission out of your truck or your car, whatever you want to call it. Next you have to split the case, which is going to be a handful of screws on this side here. So I'm going to do that next. Alright, once you get all those screws out, there's going to be a piece of tape most likely on the bottom of it here. Just take that off and get rid of it. Now you can split the case open. Now there's going to be gears in here, okay, obviously. And there's also going to be spacers. So when you take this off, kind of look around in there and pay attention to what you see. You got some bearings. I see a spacer here. I'm just going to push that back down. Now I'm just going to leave everything alone because I've already replaced these bearings very recently and I know they're fine. What I'm after is this guy here. This is your differential. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to look for spacers on either side because I can never remember. And I'm going to set the case off to the side. Next, I'm going to take these four screws out, and that should open up the differential, and you can see what that's all about. So it's 4 screws, and it's going to be a 2 millimeter hex, which should be included in your tools when you bought your car. But if not, you can get a hex driver like this or whatever you like to use. I bought this kit off of Amazon, I think. It came with I'd say about 5 different pieces or so. It was rather inexpensive, and it's done very well for quite a while now. But you can go all out and buy a really expensive set also, if that's what you like to do. Now we're going to try and get this thing out. There's a top cover here that you got to try and get out. I can't remember how it comes out. So I'm just going to tug on it until something happens. Pretty sure. There we go. Alright, so now that you have this off, you can see inside of the differential. Okay, so you got a whole bunch of gears in there. You have pins in there. So this is all going to come out. I'm going to save all this stuff because if I don't like the effects of the diff being locked, then I'm going to put all this stuff back in. So there's going to be pins, 4 of them. There's going to be gears. They're pretty slippery with all the grease that's in there, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to get them out, but they'll come out. Just got to keep at it a little bit and you'll get them all out. Okay, now that you have all the gears out, I'm going to just put this back in, put the cover back on. You know, I don't know if I'm supposed to, I just thought of this, sorry. I don't know if I should put any fucking thread lock on that pin, or just wing it, or what. This is a hot racing brand, so yeah. I guess let me see if this thing's loose at all. See how tight it is. I don't think it would come loose. It's in there pretty good. I'm gonna let it slide. Hopefully that's not a mistake. I don't know, should I or not? Fuck it. I'm just gonna let it go. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Nah, fuck it. I'm gonna put the thread locker on there. I don't feel like taking the trans all the way back apart to find out that pin came loose. So yeah, I'm gonna get some thread lock and put that on there. Alright, now we have the thread locker on there, and we're gonna just drop this guy in here, and then put this cover back on, and then reinstall your 4 screws. I don't know exactly what I'm going to gain with doing this, to tell you the truth. I'm hoping that since both wheels are going to be spinning the same, I guess I'm hoping I can get a even burnout when I warm up the tires, so I can get both tires equally hot. And then I'm hoping that as long as the car is pointed straight, that it'll go straight with this. I'm not having much of an issue of this specific build going crazy, like sideways, left or right. It does, you know, from time to time, but it's usually from lack of traction. But then I also thought maybe it's from being an open diff, so if it, you know, if one side loses traction, the other one might try and pick up the slack, and that may spin it left or right. So that's why I wanted to, you know, just try this and see. The only thing I fear is if it does go sideways, you know, if the car does decide to spin or whatnot, I don't think it's going to correct itself, and I think that it's going to want to, you know, go whichever way it points at that point of it all, you know. So if it spins out sideways, it's just going to launch sideways. I don't think it's going to recover as good as an open diff, but we'll see. So yeah, I can't remember which side this goes onto, so I guess we'll try it this way. It's a good time to inspect the other gears also. Which they all seem fine, whatever. So let's see if this is the right way or not. Okay, that doesn't seem like the right way. So we're going to take this back out. Now everything's greasy, so you know, that's always the fun part too. So we're gonna try it this way now. And of course, okay. I'm gonna try and put this back together this way. Alright, now you just put your screws back in. There's 5 of them. One is shorter than the rest, I do believe. Maybe not. I thought one of them was. Yeah, one of them is. I don't know, man. I have really bad memory, so I just have to wing it half the time. One's shorter for sure. I know if you put the wrong one up on one of these two here, then it will poke out through the back, so just be careful there. Maybe that's where the short one goes. Just kind of take your time and see if you can figure it out, or refer to your manual, I guess. I don't really ever look at that thing, but see, that one goes almost all the way through. I'm wondering if it's going to be that one or this one here, or the shorter. Fuck, I don't know. We're just going to try it and see how it goes. And then I'm going to go run it after I put this thing back in into the car. And we're going to see if I have any different times. And then, yeah, hopefully it's a good upgrade. If not, I'll swap it back out. They also do make differentials that are sealed. The one I just took out today is, you know, it's an open differential. So it is like a limited slip, because when you're turning corners, you kind of it changes how the wheels should, you know, they don't want to spin at the same exact time frame. You know, they want to have one spinning faster or slower than the other. At least that's the way I understand it. So that way it'll just perform better, I guess, in dirt. And then with the locked or lock differentials, they're always going to spin at the same rate, which may be good for going in a straight line. But if that doesn't work, they also have a sealed differential where you can change your fluids. So you can put, you know, whatever the fuck they call it, million weight oil or 500,000 weight differential oil. So that might be something I'll get into also. We'll see. But this is the first step. It was cheap. The part wasn't much at all. It was, you know, arrived here very quick, easy to install, and we'll hope for the best. Let's go see what this thing's gonna run. Alright, so after running the open or the lock diff, didn't get much better results. It's definitely gonna be a lot of tuning, which is awesome. I think it's really cool. I was getting a lot of issues where it was hooking to the right, so I added an extra spacer on the right side of the car in the rear, and it seemed to help a little bit. I noticed one thing is I'm definitely getting, I guess, a stronger pull because the front end's wanting to come out up into, you know, about a quarter of the way down. The 132 mark, you know, about a quarter of the way in, the front end wants to come up. So I know I'm getting traction on the ground. The hardest part I'm having is a launch. You know, I can't get it to hook and continue to go straight. I have to ease into the throttle, and I know that's eating my times up, definitely, because I feel like if I could get a straight launch, you know, full throttle essentially, or, you know, close to full throttle right off the bat, I think I would have a lot faster time. So my next challenge is just getting it to hook up and getting it to go fucking straight right off the bat. And I know I can do it. It's just gonna be a little bit of tuning, and I just gotta, it's gonna take me a while. I only get to take this thing out about once a week, and tune in. This is gonna be considered episode 1, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to get under 3 seconds with this stock kind of motor, so we'll see. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the other videos. Please like and subscribe.